getting their pitchfork ready right now.
That's
Look,
right.
I'm Arthur Perkins. This is AP Gaming Real. Mortrick got beef with anime. So does Mccomicker. Don't at me. Don't leave comments on YouTube. Go to his Twitter directly.
It's not my fault. It sucks.
No comment. I'm not even gonna get into this argument. We're getting started here a bit late if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, the episode will thusly be shorter. And of course, we are back with a multi-Twitch episode. So if you're watching live, you can hit the link and see the battlefield from one of the players' point of view from PlanetKhaos. Look, I did have a really great intro, and by really great, I mean I spent like 10 minutes on it, and then I was like, this isn't that funny. So I threw it out. So there we go. That's where I'm at. Today, I was brutally attacked. So my mom and I go to the same gym, so we decided to just drive together today. And she was like, let's go to Ruby Tuesdays afterwards. Ruby Tuesdays isn't open until 11 o'clock, so we sit in the parking lot for a while. Here I am, thinking maybe I can catch a nap for a little while, when my mom shouts in my ear, are you trying to sleep? And I was like, yeah, I was.
That's always the best when that happens, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I got through college with people doing that to me.
Are you a napper?
Look, I wouldn't say I was a napper. I would just point out that many cultures around the world historically evolved to involve a napping period towards the midday post lunch.
It's true.
Scientifically,
this was pre-lunch though.
Yeah, it was pre-lunch, but it was post-exercise.
Was that it was an inappropriate nap time. Exercise doesn't matter. You had not yet had lunch.
Well, I actually hadn't had breakfast yet either, so I was at like zero energy point right there.
Yeah, I'm a napper. Napping's good.
Okay.
People who can't nap, you're jealous.
There once was a time, up until my 30s, where I would just go to sleep. I would literally just be like, oh, look, it's time to go to sleep, and fall over and be asleep, and then wake up after 8 hours fully refreshed. But that left me once I hit my 30s. I was no longer capable of that mystic art.
So you can't go to sleep, or you don't feel rested?
I want to remind you all that Mortrick almost cast sleep on himself, and I gotta tell you that is the DnD spell that I would abuse on myself. It kind of seems like it would probably be the most useful spell that anyone has ever had. That's all I'm saying.
Keep thinking it's useful, and I just keep forgetting who it affects.
People with less hit points than you, hopefully.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone has more hit points than me.
That is unfortunate. I guess.
Although, moving forward, I will continue to use sleep as a weapon. Just don't disturb me until you guys have cleaned everything up.
You're just gonna fall over asleep in the middle of combat. But I mean, look, no worries. That's pretty much the most reasonable use.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't change too much about the party dynamic.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's gonna make it easier on you guys because at least one of them will be asleep as well.
Wow. Okay, so without these self burns, let's go ahead and do some, some like introductions. Connor, what are you doing?
I'm working on the banner for White Ash, which is my comic. So my name is conorhughes, and we're going to be launching our Kickstarter next week. So check us out on there if you happen to be a frequenter of the Kickstarter. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/conorhughes.
Connor, I've been dropping in on you all week, seeing you do stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me tell you something, sir. I've seen your artwork, and I hadn't realized you were such an ungodly, non-Christian artist. Good sir. Your stream, when I go to it, I do not have to click that I'm 18 plus in order to view it. And yet, you are drawing pictures of people holding hands together.
Well, yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's 1872, and things get a little raunchy.
I want to tell you something. I actually don't get this trope where people are like, "Oh, if you hold hands together," but statistically, people consider hand holding more intimate than kissing. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. If someone's going to stick their tongue inside of my face, I feel like that's way more intimate than holding hands. But I'm an outlier, apparently. Like 80% of people believe that hand holding is more intimate.
I think it's because like you kiss more habitually in a relationship. Meanwhile, hand holding, that's like genuinely like, okay, that's
like entry level. Come on now.
Well, maybe you might start with like some kind of like touching play like that, but in general, like let's say you're at a certain point in the relationship, you actually like going out of your way and hand holding might be, sort of an exceptional step, kind of like getting roses. It's like in that category. It's like, well, this is uncommon.
You believe holding your partner's hand is at the same level of presenting them with the roses? All right.
No, not the same level. It's just sort of. It's in that unusual behavior category, maybe.
It's like, Happy Valentine's Day, I'm going to hold your hand today.
Taking it to the next level, we're holding hands.
Yeah, I don't have the full capacity to articulate that point right now, but maybe I'll write.
It's okay. People believe it. People believe that. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I understand that people understand it.
I mean, if you ask me, I would agree with you. So I'm just trying to explain these people.
Okay. I mean, look, I don't know that there is any explaining their weird hand perversion, but all right.
See, Tuatha sort of agrees with me there.
It's a different kind of intimacy. I'll accept that, but I just don't feel like it's a. Look, I'm not going to continue to have this conversation. Speaking of someone who I'm not going to continue having conversations with, let's turn to Mccomicker. I promised myself I would stop doing this thing where I jump conversations by saying the last thing, but that one was really weird, so I decided to go with it.
They make for good segues. It's good.
You're really good at it too, not gonna lie.
It's usually pretty seamless. I'm Mccomicker. I stream on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter as Mccomicker. I also work on comics where no one holds hands, thank God. They're just naked together in the same room. So, at least I have some standards, unlike other people on this stream. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Planet. Now, for the people at home on the YouTubes, they'll be able to go on your YouTube this week and be able to watch all of the dice rolling and all that junk because you are co-streaming with us. But when you're not co-streaming, what are you normally streaming? No, that works out. Yeah, I thought that was going to be weird, but that actually checks out.
Perfect.
See, you're really good at it.
So, hi everyone, I'm PlanetKhaos. On Twitch, I'm PlanetKhaos Art. On Instagram, I'm PlanetKhaos_art. And chaos is with a K. I know it's complicated, but you'll get there. I Twitch now this week. Fortunately, I'm twitching like 5 or 6 times a week. So I'm drawing D&D characters, D&D monsters, all things D&D right now. Might be doing some game work in the near future. I'll let you know if that progresses.
Did you say gang work?
Game, G-A-M.
Oh, okay. That is the two very different things.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing gang art.
Where do you live?
yeah, in my suburban Poway. Yeah, the biggest gang capital of the world, right? So, but yeah, that's my gig. All right, Bearded,
you're our artist
up,
for tonight,
guys?
correct?
Yes, I am. I will be doing the arting. But if I'm not here, I also do art on the Twitch and on your social medias like Twitter and Instagram at beardedjalapno for all you peoples that want to go look. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be drawing Runa tonight. Punching some zombies, or some zombies, some skeletons, whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, there'll be more things for you to punch tonight. So many more things.
I'm sure.
The real thing you need to keep on punching is Mortrick's lack of self-confidence in his future.
Yeah.
If you could just land a critical hit there.
If only.
He has no future.
So I guess before we wrap up introductions, I just want to say I didn't know so many people here were Critical Role fans after Mick dropped the Matt Mercer bomb on me. Connor, Critical Role?
I tried. I guess I'll try again. Yeah.
I mean, look, if you can't get into it, you can't get into it. It's not for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Planet?
I've watched about maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Okay, all right. So not that into it. It's all right. I'm only 3 episodes behind the current season thing, and geez, like I'm struggling to catch up. I watch like an hour a day every day.
Oh damn!
I mean,
I am liking campaign 2 more than I liked campaign 1.
I got to tell you, I like campaign 1 a hell of a lot more until like the last 10 episodes. Everything with Avantika is where it really took off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just like I find what was his first name? Mollymock. I find Mollymock to be a lot less interesting than Caduceus.
Yeah. Well, Caduceus is just like, I'm wise and I make tea out of dead people. And everyone's like, I really want some dead people tea and wisdom. And he's like, that's great. That's real great. I've got both of those things.
You can't handle the dead people tea.
So that just happened in like earlier the episode tonight that I was watching, where he gave some tea to an old wizard, and the wizard was like, "What brand is this?" And he's like, "It's the Glenn family." I was like, "Whoa!"
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I guess the final thing to announce is that you guys foolishly asked me if people could guest star on this show.
I didn't ask shit.
Well, look. It's not like I'm going to force you guys to have guest stars. We'll do a quick vote to see, who you guys would like to guest. Off stream. We'll do it privately. But several people have. I was like, hey, artists that I know, you guys interested in being on the show to guest? And they were like, several people stepped up and were like, oh yeah, of course I would. But when I asked if they would like to art at the same time, they were like, doing art and role playing at the same time? I literally can't do that. No, I'd like to just show up to play, including the guy who literally created the first season of this show on the tabletop, Aricido. He would like to have his first on-stream role-playing experience on this show.
Nice.
Can I ask why this show is not called Dungeons and Drawings?
Because I'll tell you why. I am bad at naming things. That's why the name of the ship is called the Velocity Raven, and the guy's first name is Captain Espresso. My show about hunting down monsters in a dungeon and then killing them and bringing them back is called Dinner in a Dungeon. I don't know if what do you think about that one?
Yeah, Mick, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 7 for 10, 5 for 10.
Yeah,
you gotta let me know whether it's a on.
Just think about it and bring it to us next time.
Yeah.
I once had an NPC named Steve Gary because someone bet me that I couldn't come up with a reasonable NPC with 2 first names, and now I put him in basically every campaign that I can. The Legend of Steve Gary.
Steve Gary is pretty tight.
I mean, look, there's Powers Booth, right? He's an actor in real life, and he has 2 last names as his name. So if you can do that, you can Steve Gary the shit out of things. All right.
My wife had a patient once.
Better Steve.
First name was Jason Statham.
The first name.
The whole first name was just Jason Statham.
His first name was Jason Statham.
And was this a baby?
Yeah, it was a baby.
So they named their child Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little unusual. Let's recap the previous episode. So I wrote a little something down. Let me just get my reading glasses on. Previously, Mortrick decided to play a half-dozen gambits of deception and next-level masterminding against Greco and Akana in an attempt
to worked perfectly.
No. In an attempt to secure their freedom from his father and land a marriage with Leah Padua. With the entrance of the rest of the party to the scene of the crime or crimes, people not in the plot may have inadvertently murdered someone looking at Rik-Jaxx. Thus kicked off a scuffle where Mortrick threw himself off a bridge only to be stabbed in the leg and fall unconscious in chill waters. Rik-Jaxx heroically threw himself off a building to save Mortrick's life while Kazador held the line, and Runa beat the crap out of everyone. With the job status questionably completed, they received their reward. Passage across the sea through the narrow strait, a 3-day journey of razor-sharp rocks and unusual currents, known for shipbreaking, rumored to be home to a nest of harpies. Meeting the crew, including Captain Espresso and Quartermaster Barrick, they uncovered the mystery of Cynthia, the captain's daughter, who had begun manifesting sorceress powers. Working together with limited supplies and less time, Kazador and Mortrick crafted an arcane focus to help her control the flow of power. Our mission ended with a merfolk attack after unsuccessful negotiations, the highlights of which are Kazador hanging from the side of the ship in full plate. As combat faded, Mortrick threw his rapier in a fury into the sea, and Cynthia swung from the sail in order to save her teacher, having killed Mortrick's attacker. In the aftermath, Captain Espresso Leandro has decided to make a hard decision between being a good captain or being a good father. Taking Cynthia, he's locked himself in their cabin so he can talk her through what happened and explain that killing is wrong. Quartermaster Barrick Detali now commands the ship through the narrow strait, and the men are unsettled that they have been abandoned by their captain in this time of dire need. This is not what they have signed up for. Constant watch is kept for more merfolk attacks, and the ship takes an unusually fast speed to keep one step ahead of them. We thus find ourselves, the next day, on the journey of the Velocity Raven as night begins to fall, and our group of heroes awake to take their guard posts. So as this is happening, all of you are coming up from the hold. Your, I don't want to say good friend, hireling is his technical qualification. Hal comes up behind all of you as well. Something has changed about Hal, however. For some reason, he's got a silver chain on his belt. There's a large black book that looks like it's made out of some sort of leathery skin. It's got silver trim along the edge of it. And when you look at it, you begin hearing whispers in your mind that tell you of dark secrets from ages long past. But more importantly, when you meet Hal's eyes, his left eye is now completely blue instead of brown. And his right eye is completely, all of the white area is now black. And there is a dwarven rune in where his eye should be.
Hell, I think there's something different about you. What?
Hal's just like,
is that a rune?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that
What the hell's going on?
I had some really bad dreams last night.
Why? I mean, how did this? We've been together for 2 weeks. A week? No, a week on the ship.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, we've been on the ship 2 weeks and we haven't.
Well, we've been on the ship a week, but we've been together for like almost 14 days.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put my hand affectionately on Hal's shoulder and be like, "Listen, Hal. Some days your body goes through changes, and when that starts to happen, you know it opens
Son, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Look, when you get to 60, you can talk to me.
Okay.
Until then, just
Like, wait, how? Just first.
Look, I just feel a little different today.
On this subject, like, can I ever speak to you again until I'm 60, or just not about?
Look, you could talk to me. Just don't try to tell me about being old. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, do I need to get a mirror or something?
Yeah, I think
I think that would help.
I sort of spit on my shield and like try and like find
let me tell you how. Before you look, just let me know if you notice anything different.
So he starts looking at himself in the mirror. He's like, "Oh, that's so weird. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know why my eyes have changed. That black eye seems really freaky. But I have to tell you, I did have a dream last night where a giant serpent offered me unlimited power. I might have accepted that deal."
You took the deal.
Yeah.
That's a good call, Hal. I think you made the right decision there.
Are you sure about that, Mortrick? I don't know if.
Well, my experience with you has been that I haven't been able to do very much, and I feel like as your hireling, I should be pretty capable. I think I can do this. And like he reaches into his pants and pulls out a dagger you've never seen him have before, and waves it around briefly.
Whoa.
And then he's like, "Go get us breakfast." And then several moments later, you see like a handful of oranges begin to float through the air towards each of you. Like it stops in front of Kazador, and then an orange floats towards your mouth. He's like, "Oh, that's so cool. I've done it. I've summoned an unseen servant. I'm now a hireling of great power. I might also be a warlock."
I approve of this life decision. Now, can I get one of those oranges over here? And I'm gonna like open my mouth up and.
Okay, unseen servant, bring him an orange. And the pile of oranges begins floating towards Mortrick. And then one of them starts heading towards your mouth. It's unpeeled, so you literally just get an orange right in your mouth.
That's where all the vitamins are at.
Yeah, I don't know much about warlocks, but I thought we're at a task to take down some demons, and I'm not sure if you're going to want to join us in this task.
Fight fire with fire.
Well, normally I would agree with you, but I'm feeling very powerful right now. I think I can do some pretty cool stuff.
I mean, it was nice not being the lamest member of this party, but I guess it couldn't last forever.
I'm all for it because I think we need as much firepower as we can get.
He's like, "Oh, no, firepower isn't a thing I'm going to be doing. But I think I can do this." And he starts casting a spell. And he's like, "Say anything in any language. I can understand it now."
Oh, I have that one too.
Oh, you have that one too? Okay. Well, it's not like I wanted it to be useful or anything. That's fine.
Maybe I have that one. Maybe I don't have that one. I think I had. I know I picked that one.
Do you know? Did you hear the conversation between Mortrick and the Mer people?
No, I was below decks.
Okay.
Remember, I ran out at the end of combat with a bucket on my head.
Of course.
Very impressive.
It's a nice looking bucket. You made a good choice.
Oh, it's so weird.
Well, why don't you find out how far we are from port?
So he's like, "I will, but it turns out that my left eye must have a power sealed within it because I can see everything that's magical around me."
Oh, that is
That's going to come out handy.
I have that as well, but my eye.
I think Hal is cool. Can we get rid of Mortrick now?
You want to take over playing Hal? He's just so excited that he's become a first level character and he's got all these new powers. But he doesn't seem to have any attack spells as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
He brings back information several minutes later from the quartermaster who's helming the ship. He is switching off, with the night guard captain. But Barrack Tatali has let you all know that you're about 2/3 of the way through the narrow strait and you're in the last third of it. They think they're outrunning the merfolk. They're making about 4 knots. And they think that's about faster than a merfolk could swim. And of course, with a ship, you're moving at 4 knots constantly. You don't have to stop at any point. They are slightly concerned that tomorrow morning, at first light, they're going to have to make what's called the drift, which is the last pretty nasty hour-long set of constant turns through razor-sharp rocks.
Sounds fun.
Including at least one S-turn.
Has anyone seen any harpies?
I'll let the captain know if he needs any help with anything. I can assist him.
So it's Hal bringing back this information. He's like, well, I could go speak with the captain, but he's basically been locked in his cabin.
Yeah, I think we might need to go have a chat with this guy.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'll join him.
You know, I'd better stick in the crow's nest. You know, somebody has to be doing watch.
Yeah, you keep that eye about. I don't know which one's better now in terms of sight, but keep both eyes open, I suppose.
Come on, Kaz.
So yeah, he's just like, all right, I'll keep my cursed eye ready. And then he starts climbing up the rigging. It's a little slow.
Don't fall.
But he makes it up there. He's like, I'll be fine.
All right.
Need help? I can help you up.
No, I'm good.
Rik-Jaxx wants to kind of find a spot where he can have a good view of the entire boat deck just in case, but just sort of keep watch.
So you are not going to speak with the captain then? You're going to stay out?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to stay up on top.
All right. Who is going? Kazador?
Yeah.
Runa?
Go on.
Yeah, I'll go with.
All right. The three of you approach the captain's door. What do you do? I mean, you can hear that there's some low talking on the inside.
I'll knock.
The captain goes, oh, let me tell you something. If you salty seamen knock on this door one more time, and he like opens the door, and he's like, oh, customers.
How's it going in here, Captain? I was wondering if what's the girl's name?
So the girl's name is Cynthia.
But she likes to be called
the water dragon Cynthia.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, is the water dragon Cynthia ready for her magic lesson today?
So it's interesting you say that. She immediately runs out of the room and stands behind you and is like, that's right, I'm going to my magic lesson with my teacher.
All right.
So let me ask you a question, Mortrick. Have you ever encountered an angry sea captain who wants to murder you with all of his might and was once a pirate?
I mean, I feel like
a notorious pirate.
I'm like, so Kaz and Runa have, some business to talk about with you, Captain. So I'll just get.
Oh no, you're not going anywhere. Why don't you step in my quarters for a moment? I have something I want to say to you.
Yeah, why don't we all? And I'll try to step aside so that Kaz and Runa can go in first.
So he says, yes, I'm sure you'd want witnesses.
Well, why don't we just have this discussion out in the hallway? So
no, I insist.
Comes a time when a
Cynthia,
body starts to
I'll
change.
return your teacher to you in a moment. Just wait out there. You can have your magic lesson. And he ushers you all in, perhaps a little forcefully for Mortrick. Are you resisting?
No.
Okay. So he closes the door and then goes to the floorboard under his hammock and pulls out a long cavalry saber. The blade is clearly well used. Perhaps it hasn't been shined in a while, but you can see that along the blade there are blood spatters that just appear and then disappear, as if it's being constantly in use. And he says, "This is my sword, Gorefang. It appears to have become cursed after years of using it to disembowel disloyal crew members and scurvy sea dogs. And he draws the blade out and begins walking towards Mortrick with the blade held before him like flat.
Ooh, do you have another one of those? Because I literally just lost
I know you lost your blade.
Oh.
That's why. And then he taps you on the shoulder with it. I'm giving you mine.
Oh,
and sheathes the sword and hands it to you. The cursed sword Gorfang.
I'm gonna drop it, but oh, that was heavier than I was expecting.
You really should not drop it.
Rapiers are pretty light. I'm not used to the weight. I'll do better next time.
Yeah, don't drop my sword.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I appreciate everything you and your party have done, and it would appear that my daughter requires substantial schooling in the arcane arts.
Yeah,
perhaps
you might want to
years.
Yeah, it takes a while. Ugh. And some of the
schooling, but I think it's more like a matter of honing. I mean, she blasted some holes into that guy.
You don't need to tell me. I was there, and more importantly, I would hope that not only do you not brag about it, I would appreciate that you don't mention it to anyone in the future.
Oh, we'll keep it discreet. I'm just pointing out. I think we're dealing with the powerful mage here.
Yeah, I mean, in your line of work, that's going to be super helpful.
I'm not sure that I want her to follow this line of work. Smuggling, that's fine, but piracy, no. If you could guide her away towards perhaps more mystical pursuits, the search of knowledge rather than one of killing, I would appreciate it. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and then starts squeezing and says, as her teacher, I think that you might have a responsibility towards guiding a budding young mind and her future, one where she doesn't kill people.
Yes, I understand all that. Just before she embarks on this quest to,
Every time you say before, his grip gets a little tighter.
I'm just saying it can be kind of expensive. And just because you're, pursuing a peaceful, knowledgeable path does not mean you're going to be, in the clear. So what kind of, 529 do you have set up for her?
Don't worry about my finances. Whatever she needs, she'll have.
Then we are good. I have no more questions.
Nor do I.
Okay, so he heads over to his desk and pulls out a bag of coin and throws it to Mortrick and says, for your services, above and beyond your guard duty.
Can I snag it before it gets to Mortrick?
Absolutely. Mortrick, do you want to counter and snag it, or are you just going to let this happen?
Yeah, I'm going to try and snag it too.
All right. Both of you make dexterity saving throws. Higher number wins.
Do I have to have my token selected?
No, not for that.
Why?
Captain, do you know anything about this land we go to, Havens? If there's going to be any kind of
So when you say that, he's like, you've been traveling with me for almost 10 days, and you know nothing of Havens?
We know that it's a unscrupulous place, but beyond that, we know little.
Unscrupulous is not a word that I would use.
Okay.
It's not even a word.
Unscrupulous is definitely a word.
What word would you use to describe it then?
Ancient.
Ancient. Okay.
Rowdy, perhaps? Do I know anything about Havens?
Would you like to make a history check?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, excellent. Because otherwise, I was a little worried. Normally when I plan vacations and go places, I Google everything I can about it ahead of time. And I was thinking that you guys literally knew nothing about where you were arriving. And I was like, they're going to be so screwed when they get there. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. History 11. You have some basic knowledge. So I
know all about it.
You know very basic knowledge. I mean, you can lie to the rest of the party, but you can't lie to me. Havens is a city-state that takes up all of the island that it is on. It has several smaller, like, suburbia areas around, but they all feed towards Havens. It's kind of a mutually neutral location where people from any of the other continents or nations can sail to. It's located next to the Empire, the Southern Empire, and kind of acts as a gateway to their location. Havens is a like directorate kingdom. It is led by an elven royal family, and the majority of its population are elven. They are very rigid and uptight. They have a strong cultural heritage of creation. Every building in the capital area within the government district is made out of the deep black wood that grows only on their island. And that's about all you know.
All right, so I will tell them that, but then I will embellish. I hear it's got some fantastic vacation spots. A buddy of mine back in third form, he came from Havens. Maybe it was, anyway, I'm pretty sure it was Havens. Anyway, he was telling about this one bar he would go to as a kid. They would never check his ID. It sounds amazing.
That's true, actually. At first I thought you might be lying, but they are world renowned for their beer gardens.
See?
From there, you can observe nature while becoming part of it, and a sup of elven wines and beers.
You guys just stick with me. We're gonna be fine. No worries.
Do any of your party members speak Elvish?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Then you are going to have a very difficult time there. Those who cannot speak the language are regarded as second-class citizens.
We'll let him do all the talking.
You have an interpreter.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you have... Or don't you have a bardic spell for such encounters?
So comprehend languages allows you to understand other people's language, but you weren't able to speak it back to them.
Okay.
And so I gather how...
Any overlap with Sylvan?
In the same way that the Cyrillic alphabet is used for several Slavic languages.
Yeah.
They might share some source words and pronunciation, but they are not that similar at all.
Okay.
So yeah, the captain looks kind of worried and says, well, not being able to speak Elvish will be a very serious problem for you. Might I ask what your business specifically there is, as getting through customs might be an issue for you?
We're hunting down artifacts, and so our mission is taking us there.
Well, that'll actually...
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, artifacts, no problem. Go
I
through.
guess we'll just throw that out there.
No, so yeah, he just says yes, artifacts. Everyone knows that adventurers hunt those things. And
we're like Indiana Jones. We're sort of.
I don't know who that is.
Who's that?
We're archaeologists.
I was asked by the boss to supply you with an introduction to the criminal underworld on arrival. You should know that, much like the hierarchical society of Havens, the underworld there is also very hierarchical. It is a strict, extremely conservative group that runs many industries from the shadows. I also hope you like lute music, maybe harps, with lots of vocal singing and freestyle poetry. Because as long as you're in Havens, you will be encountering it constantly on every street corner, as well as free-thinking political debate and philosophy.
This place sounds like a nightmare. I don't think we should go.
Well, we're already halfway there. And I don't think we can turn around. We're in a narrow strait that travels in one direction. Between the sea currents and the canyon of wind behind us, if we were to turn around, we would probably end up in irons.
All right, fine. I guess we're pot committed. But guys, let's just try to make our time there short. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I not looking forward to the headache that will be hanging out in Havens, I suppose.
So congratulations on your acquirement of a magic item, ? The Cursed Sword Gorfang, which is a short sword.
Short sword?
In the form of a cavalry saber.
All right. Manage equipment.
And a charge. We now have a charge of Cynthia, the dragon.
Mortrick has a charge of education.
Yeah.
So, as you're ushered out of the captain's quarters, he looks like he's not slept since the incident and just like collapses into his hammock.
Short sword of what?
It's just called a short sword.
Just short sword? Okay.
Yep.
Gorfang.
The Cursed Sword Gorfang. So when drawn, blood spatters appear up and down the sword that continually flash into existence and disappear.
All right.
It's not specifically magical. It's just kind of spooky from all the people it's killed. It's got a lot of negative energy.
You got +1 to intimidation there, Mick.
So what's the plan? You guys have watch duty, but now Mortrick has been roped into teaching a 7-year-old girl how to use magic. I don't know if you all are comfortable allowing Mortrick free reign.
What could go wrong?
I don't know anything about magic, but Runa, you taught her maps. What do you think about Mortrick teaching her?
I think maps are very different than magic.
Yeah, but true. But that's closer to magic than my fists are. Yeah.
Guys, don't worry about it. Every year, well, I mean, like every second year, it has to take I don't know what you call it. It's not a sabbatical. Anyway, I've taught people before. It's going to be fine.
Is this where we get flashbacks to Mortrick as a teacher's assistant?
Yep. We're like, oh, I didn't show up in time. 5 minutes, class is dismissed.
That...
Never taught a day.
You know, I saw that shit in college so much. It was never on the record. That's not a thing, but people would consistently say that shit.
Right? Yeah, it never happened.
I'll be with him in the lessons. Don't worry.
All right, Runa.
What are you doing during the magic lessons? I mean, you're not an arcanist.
No. Just making sure Mortrick is less Mortrick. And more of a teacher.
Mortrick, how do you approach these lessons? I'm curious. What even is the subject matter? Are we talking like basic ethics, approach to magic 101? Or are you literally like, let's just do some freeform magic casting, magic missile?
Let's just see what happens. Here's this can of worms. We're just gonna pop it open and go for it. Let me think. How would Mortrick approach this? You know what? Mortrick is going to make a roll.
Aren't you making the roll, or is Mortrick physically pulling a die out of one of his pants pockets?
Okay, so like...
Wow, you got a 3 on your intelligence saving throw.
Impressive.
So Mortrick thought long and hard about how we wanted to approach this, the responsible way to approach this. And the first thing he says to her is, hey, you know when you blew that guy up in front of me? Let's see you do that again.
Good. She's just like, oh, yeah, that was awesome. All right, so who are we doing it to?
Amazing.
Wait, no, my dad said that I shouldn't do that.
Oh, I'm going to look nervously around for her dad.
You shouldn't do that. Life is a sacred thing, Mortrick. And I look at him very intensely.
I'm going to whisper to Cynthia, listen, once we get rid of the wet blanket, we'll blow something up. But for now, I guess.
Okay, he's stuck with the
head. What does magic feel like to you, Cynthia? I think I'm going to try and get at like the root of it for her. Like, what is it? How does she...
Magic feels like a bucket that I throw at people and then cover them in water.
That sounds fantastic. Like,
Also, when I was down in the hold, I literally was like cleaning stuff earlier.
yeah, that was also super impressive. I would hold on to that one, especially if you go to magic school. So many parts.
That's who was doing it. How are you cleaning square by square?
So Hal is like appears and he's like, actually, I know how to do that as well. You can clean people's clothing with it, remove blood quite easily. It's called prestidigitation. And he puts his hand on Connor's armor, which is now covered in salt and sea spray, and then whoosh. It looks as shiny as the day it was created. It looks better than when you got it fitted to you.
Huh.
He's
That's
removed
fantastic,
all of
Hal. This is very impressive what you come to be able to do. I like the new you.
Hal's just like, ever since I accepted that dark fell bargain from the Leviathan god, I feel like I've become a new person.
Yeah, sounds like you really did.
I feel like you've made some good choices recently.
You're way more useful now than you were to us before.
I don't know this. when you say that, he's like, I don't know that that's positive. So he pulls out his book and goes to write something in it, and when he opens it, the whispers get kind of loud, and you just hear like, everything comes to an end. The Dark Lord is waiting. Everything.
What's that?
He's just like, oh, this is just my tome of secrets, a tome of shadows. It's a book of. Will you give it back?
Yeah, I'll give it back.
Okay, so he hands it over to you. The leather feels really weird. You're pretty sure it's not leather of any creature that you've ever like seen killed and skinned.
I kind of like hold it up and like kind of like if it feels strange, I'm gonna sniff it or.
It definitely feels strange. You sniff it and it smells like seawater.
Seawater. Okay.
It smells cold too.
Where'd you get this, Hal?
He's like, well, I woke up and I had it.
That's not how books get made.
Well, I assumed it had something to do with, exchanging part of my soul in a pact for great power and knowledge.
Yeah, no, you got to do what you got to do, Hal. It's totally okay.
So I opened up the book and start flipping through it, trying to read it.
So at first you can't read anything that's in it.
Yeah.
It's just like weird runes, and then the runes reassembled themselves, and it says, Kazador shall be lost. He will break. One day, this too will come to pass. Know then the secrets of the future, that your doom shall be upon you, Kazador the Whiteknuckle.
This book, it's full of shit. I mean,
so he closes the book and he's like, I'm not sure you're supposed to be reading this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just telling you what I thought about it.
Okay. It's called the Book of Shadows, and it's filled with ancient secrets, and I think maybe there might be some insanity involved.
Well, certainly what was written there was insane. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I mean, what did you see? I mean, I saw something different than what you saw because, I mean, for me, it's just the journal that I filled in last night.
See, you're predicting my own failure and death? Or
is that what the book said to you?
I mean, I think we're all predicting that, Kaz.
That is what the book said to me, yes.
That's not what I wrote in the book.
So what did you write?
Well, I'm not telling you. I mean, it was just a journal entry. I was writing like, Dear Leviathan God, this is what happened to me.
I don't think you should report on us to the Leviathan God. I mean,
I feel like I have to, though. It was kind of in the soul contract that I signed. And I'm not reporting on you, I'm reporting on my activity. It's like an exchange diary. He provides me with unlimited arcane power, and all he needs is to know what's going on in the mortal realm. Look, Kazador, I like you, son. I think I can call you son. I'm not sure how old you are. But I feel kind of grandfatherly, because I actually am a grandfather. But listen, son, if this book said weird stuff to you, I feel like maybe you should be concerned.
I mean, I'm not concerned what some book says. I just think
so even closed, the book still has that whisper effect, Kazador, and you hear through the whispers like, your full doom shall come to pass.
I never listened to speaking books, that's for sure.
Have you ever listened to any book?
No.
But you know what book you could listen to? Audiobooks by Audible, tonight's sponsor. Audible. Listen to the Brandon Sanderson Stormlight archive on Audible now. It would have been amazing if I actually had an Audible sponsorship to drop right there. I'm just saying.
That would be good. Runa, what do you make of this?
Hal seems to know what he's doing. He's lived his life.
I was just like, oh, this is completely new to me. I don't. I pick apples for a living. I grow apples. I don't know anything about dark fell bargains with elder Leviathan gods, but yeah, I feel like I can reasonably navigate this. I'm sure there won't be any side effects or problems.
And this
Indeed.
is when I'm going to turn to Cynthia and be like, and this kid is exactly why you don't bother planning for the future, because we lived in a crazy murder world where nuts things happens and you can't predict. One day you wake up, you're fine. One day you wake up and you've got a book made of probably human skin and it's going to kill someone that you thought was your friend. But what are you going to do? You're going to say yes because it's untold power.
You guys think of me as a friend?
Who? How? I'm talking to the kid, all right? Just shush it. And then that's going to be my first lesson.
All right. So I just want to understand your first lesson to Cynthia is nothing matters. Don't plan for the future. Is there any other core syllabus concepts that you want to...
While it looks like Runa and Kaz are distracted with Hal, we're going to try and sneak to the other end of the boat and find something to blow up with magic missile.
Okay, so I want to point out that magic missile can't like target I believe that magic missile can only target creatures, so you can't just like fire it and not target a creature.
So we're going to spend a boring day at the back of the boat waiting for a fish to jump out of the water.
Yeah, okay. So it's not a boring day, it's a boring night, because you guys are on night guard duty, but you do hear a fish, and you see it flop in the silvery night, and she nails it with 3 darts of force.
10 points!
She's just like, yes, I did it. It felt so powerful.
Yeah, that's good. Ride that wave. What else can you do?
And she's like, whoosh, and suddenly your clothes are all clean. And your hair is now purple.
Yeah, I've looked worse. All right, well, I'm going to show you something I can do now. Well, wait, it's nighttime, right? Yeah. I'm gonna like, all right, I think it's time for bed, kid. We're going to have to pick this up in the morning.
Okay.
And then once I get her bundled off to bed, I'm going to come back to see where Hal, Kaz, and Runa have landed on everything.
Okay. As Mortrick rejoins you, his hair is now purple. It's totally normal, and that's just a thing that happens.
I'm not even going to question it at this point.
I'm too tired to deal with your purple hair.
I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to keep it.
I was just like, it's probably a bad thing to be tired, because we're the night watch shift.
Well, it's close to the end, right?
We've barely begun.
Oh, okay.
We're like we're like 5 minutes into the shift. You're like we're almost done. He's like, have we started? The only thing that's happened is Mortrick went to the back of the boat and speared some fish with magical missiles.
I thought it took forever. Anyway, I don't know. I lose track of time on this vast ocean. This is not where I'm meant to be.
Where's Rik-Jaxx through all this?
Rik-Jaxx is outside, keeping watch on the ship.
Oh, are you up in the crow's nest?
Well,
No.
I don't think so. That someone was there already, but
Well, Hal was, but then I guess
somewhere on the deck
because he started chatting us.
Yeah, well, I'm fine on the deck. I'm doing my job while you guys are doing your job. You're doing your job. I'm doing my job.
All right. Yeah, let's keep watch, I guess.
Okay. Who is positioning where to do what watch?
I'm going to stand in the center of the boat.
So
I
like
guess,
by the hold? Yeah.
yeah, by the hull. I'm going to stand on the door.
As far away from the water as you can
And
get.
I guess I'll change into some chainmail.
Really?
Beforehand.
So Hal and his unseen servant will help you. So it's like having 2 people.
Oh, this is fantastic, Hal.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, yeah, this is great.
It's gonna be awesome.
I was just like, I knew accepting that bargain would be a great plan. I just felt like I could be very helpful to all of you.
Look, just don't write anything about me in the book, and we'll be okay.
No promises. So Rik-Jaxx, are you staying in the captain's quarters, or are you going to where the tiller and the wheel?
Yeah, I'm trying to move
on the upper deck.
My token. Yeah, are they locked down right now, or
no? I mean, I can move yours. I don't.
Yeah, put me up on the quarter deck in the back. I can't move my own piece right now.
Do you have the select tool activated?
Yeah.
In the upper left-hand corner of the arrow?
Yeah, select move, just to be sure it is. And I click on it. Maybe I have to reload.
Yeah, try that.
So anyway, I'll be on the quarter deck in the back of the boat. Where'd he go?
I'll be at the front.
Do you want me to move your token? You want to be at the forefront of the boat?
Yeah, you can just move it.
All right. Is everyone at full health?
Yes, because you've had a long rest since the last combat.
All right.
It's been over 24 hours. Okay, Rik-Jaxx, can you make a perception check for me?
I will. Let me get my hit points up. Skills, perception. I'm really gonna have to work on perception. No investigation?
No, this is investigation would be like interacting with stuff. This is just looking around.
Okay, here it comes.
Let's take a look at that.
That would be nope.
Okay, so here's what happens, Rik-Jaxx. You're wandering around on what's called the poop deck. Not only do people poop off the back of the ship here, but it's where the tiller is, it's where the wheel is. So you look forward, you're looking out over the rest of your party nostalgically. The man at the wheel just kind of is like, calm night. And then he makes like a weird noise for a moment. And when you look back, he's gone and you hear a splashing noise. And then you are surrounded by a huge green elf in aquatic people. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Shit.
Remember to
Listen
select
for
your
the
token.
splash. I'm like, Rik-Jaxx, what's that?
Well, I would have told you, except
I would have told you, except I got locked in combat by the stupid GM.
yeah, and I rolled a 1 for initiative.
Oh wow, yeah, that's.
I didn't click my token.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I got a 4.
All right, hopefully that isn't too loud.
Mood music?
You might call it battle music. Done by friend of the show, Drummer Boy.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Oh wow, they're up first, man. Rik-Jaxx. All right, we'll have to do this one by one. This guy is going to rush past Rik-Jaxx and leap down onto the deck. So he drops down here.
Wait, are we on the wrong? Oh no, I see.
And rushes toward Kazador. So he's like a weird mix of like a frog person and an elf. You turn and see him just as he slams into you with the spear. What's your AC, Kazador? Something ridiculous, right?
Well, now it's because I'm wearing chainmail. Let me check. I think it's going to be...
What is that noise?
You don't hear the battle music?
That's the mood music.
Battle music.
I don't hear music. It's just like scratchy electronic noises.
I have to look up what the chainmail has. Let me just one second.
Okay, so in the upper right-hand corner, there should be the gear that says My Settings, and you can change the music volume level. If it's not coming through correctly for you, you can just put the volume all the way to 0. I don't know why it would sound like scratchy electronic noises, though.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is
Sounds like
weird.
gorgeous Final Fantasy music to me.
Same.
I don't see a gear.
Upper right hand corner, it looks like a circle gear thing in roll 20.
Oh, in roll 20.
Yeah,
okay.
it says my settings.
My settings, music volume.
Yep, master music volume level. You can lower or raise it. In this case, you probably want to lower it to 0.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out later. Sorry, Kazador, what was your AC?
So it's 16 plus 2 plus. I think that's it. So 18.
Yeah, for the shield, it would be 18, right? 16 plus 2 is 18.
Yeah.
So the first weapon is going to hit.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to get advantage on the second attack because it's Blood Frenzy. It slams into you with the spear, and part of the spear hits you in the face.
Okay.
And draws a bit of blood. This creature immediately begins vibrating. It goes, and then tries to bite you with its face. Normally the roll would only be a 14, but because it's now in a blood frenzy, it gets advantage. It still misses. So with its spear beside you, like it just leaves its whole body and tries to bite you with its face. Its hot breath is on you. Fucking smells awful. Like rotten dead fish, black teeth. It licks you at one point while trying to like rip your cheek off. It's disgusting. Speaking of things that are literally disgusting, Rik-Jaxx, let's talk about what's about to happen to you.
I'm ready to find out.
What's your AC?
It's 14.
Okay, then you're in for a lot of pain. Not that much pain. The first guy to attack you tries to stab you with his spear and gets it lodged in the deck and then like, pulls it out. You can see that it's splintering slightly. Then he tries to bite you. Oh my god. You took 5 points of damage, Kazador. Yeah, you roll 1 again, folks at home. That's 2 ones in a row. He tries to bite you and then ends up biting the wheel, but his teeth are stuck in it and he's The second one tries to stab you with the spear. Yeah, that'll hit. 100%. And that means he's in blood frenzy now as well. The spear, he does like a bash on your face and like you hear a cracking noise as your nose breaks. And you can feel blood pouring out of it. Then this guy starts vibrating. The other guy next to him starts vibrating as well. And they're like, and he goes to bite your face off. 2d20, he piles 1 plus 3. That's a 17, which I think is going to hit as well. 1d4 plus 1. All right, so you took another 4 points of damage. So that's 8 total. Runa.
8 total?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
From the front of the ship, you finally have caught on to the fact that there's an attack going on.
Cool. I will move over as far as I can towards the one next to Kaz. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I think I can just get there and punch him in his face.
Okay. I mean, his face is quite punchable. It's the pond of the mat of faces.
Most faces are very punchable. Now, if I could just find...
I don't know that most faces are. I wouldn't say Taylor Swift has a punchable face, for instance. You go to face punch this guy. You physically connect, but his skull is so incredibly thick that your fist just... You come away like, and the creature just like licks your fist for a moment.
I punch him with my other fist.
Are you
Flurry of blows.
Flurry of blows? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me see that second fist. That second fist is gonna do it. Oh, that third fist is a critical hit. That hits for 11 points of damage on top of 6. You let out 2 more sets of physical attacks against this guy, punching him in the face over and over again. You look like you've almost knocked him out. He's just like, and he starts licking all of the blood that's flowing from his face.
Take that, sir.
Mortrick.
I'm gonna be like, ugh, these guys are gross. I'm gonna tap Kaz on the shoulder twice, be like, you got this, buddy. Inspiration.
Okay, you spend your action giving him bardic inspiration.
I think it's a bonus.
Okay.
All right.
So you have a d6 that you can throw towards an attack roll, saving throw, etc.
And I can use that in this turn or any turn?
Any turn, at any time,
At any time. Okay.
for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And I have to declare it before I make a roll, or how does that work?
I think you can do it.
You can do it before
Yeah,
and
I think you
after.
can do it after, yeah.
There's almost certainly no penalty for doing it
After
afterwards.
after the number, but before you learn the result, I think.
Yes, that
Yeah, I
sounds
think
right.
That sounds like right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, that reminds me, Rik-Jaxx. Someone filled me in on the rule. So apparently you can swap it as part of your move. You can do like one extra thing, so you can like sheath double weapons and draw double weapons at the same time. But then you won't be able to like open doors or go up and down a ladder or anything like that. That'll be the full use of your hand during a move.
Okay.
So that is the rule. Mortrick, you got any other action you want to take here?
I guess I'll pull this sword out and just kind of swing half-heartedly at it.
It makes a really shing as you draw it, and then you can see the blood on it, quite bright even in the moonlight. You feel kind of lethargic, but it sounds super badass.
It does sound nice. Man, did you guys hear that? So I'm gonna swipe at him
Yeah, you hit.
for 2 damage. Yes.
That's not actually 2 damage. So it's not rolling damage. It's literally the mathematical formula is just 2.
No, it isn't rolling damage. What? How is it
So let me take a look at your sheet real quick.
Oh, damage type, damage dice. There we go. What is the short sword?
1d6, I think.
6.
It's a finesse weapon, so you'll add your dex to it.
X, yeah. Okay, 1d6.
Okay. I thought for a second it did just did 2 damage. That's it.
No, so it didn't have a dice to roll, so it didn't.
Didn't have
roll.
a dice and didn't have
I
Yeah,
got
go
you.
ahead and click it again. We'll take the damage from that.
cook it real good.
4 points of damage, and unfortunately you burn that critical roll.
No! I
Yeah.
should have saved it for later, because that's how numbers work.
You slash him across the face, and now he's got this huge scar across his face, over his eye, down over his broken nose, to right above his weird elven-y lip. It's bleeding profusely. This guy looks like he's on his last legs. He's slowing down.
You're like, I'm not gonna lie, that felt pretty good. I'm gonna sheath my sword again.
Wow, okay, so apparently Mortrick, upon receiving a new sword, decided to learn Iado, where you just attack from the sheath only.
But it sounds so cool that way.
Yeah, but no one gets to see your blade.
They don't need to see the blood spatter on the blade, as long as I hit every time and cause a blood splatter on the deck.
Nani?
Nani?
Omae wa
Nandekoya? Watashi?
shinderu.
Did you just Shinderu me? I guess, as a monk, you'll eventually be able to do that, right? What's it called? Quivering palm or whatever?
Something like that.
Yeah. Rik-Jaxx, speaking of somebody who's about to die, let's talk to you. You're alone on the upper deck, facing 2 guys. You're injured, and that seems to excite them into a new level of frenzy.
All right, so I'm going to attack the one to my immediate left.
Okay?
And
Maybe a tactical retreat might be in order.
that's my cunning action.
Okay.
Disengage is my cunning action.
Yep, okay. So let's see this attack, and then we'll do that disengage thing.
Mm-hmm.
That will physically hit, but not deal any damage. So you stab at it, and you hit its weird chest armor and bounce off a bone. And then you're retreating.
How much motion can I do with the disengage?
Your normal movement speed. So you can leap down the ladder without any loss of movement. So it'll just be 5 foot to just, jump down.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we'll go 4. I'll stay behind this guy. Oh, I don't know how much they can move. 5, 6. Can I go right there on the edge of the boat?
Yep.
Okay.
So you jump down, you run along the edge of the boat.
Okay.
I assume that you're like crouching low at the same time, pulling out your hand crossbow.
Yeah. Sounds
Kazador.
good. No, I'm going to stick with my weapons, but that's it for now.
Kazador.
I'm ready to go. Let's do
You are?
this.
You are?
Yeah.
All right, I'm curious. Show me the power of your dice rolls.
Be forthcoming. All right.
So what is it you're doing? Is it a Warhammer attack?
Yeah, Warhammer, straight to the face. Trying to knock out his teeth.
You go straight to the face. As some would say, quick to the point, no faking. But instead of cooking an MC like a pound of bacon, he blocks with the spear and your hand can't come down anymore. So you're like, and you hit his spear and then you're just like stuck there. You have to pull your hammer back. He actually hits you in the face with the butt end of the hammer, or with the butt end of the spear. So like, so you're stunned a little bit.
Yeah.
At the end of the round, the ship has no one at the till, and the sails are still fully lofted. So it continues to move in a relatively straight line for now at full speed. I want to remind you that you are in a twisting cavern of sharp rocks and things you can collide with.
But who's driving the ship?
No one is driving the ship. The person who was driving the ship was killed at the beginning of combat.
Oh, I didn't know
He
that.
was stabbed and thrown overboard.
Damn. Okay.
Speaking of being stabbed and thrown overboard, let's talk to Mortrick. As the first thing that happens is
You're just so good at that.
I would say I'm good at it. I'm gonna go left to right, starting with Mortrick getting, spear stabbed. How's an 18?
Yep, that's gonna get me.
All right, so now he's going in a blood frenzy against you. So you take 5 points of damage.
All right.
Then he goes for the bite. 21, I think, is going to hit as well.
That is also going to hit.
All right, so he doesn't physically nick you with the spear, but he does keep using it as like a bludgeoning weapon, and then he slaps the tail end of it against your face, and you go, ugh! And while your head is knocked sideways, he opens his ungodly jaws, from which belches forth a horrendous noise. And he goes and just starts grabbing you and like kiss licking your neck, and it draws some blood, and it's slimy and cold and gross.
But at least I'm not paying for it this time.
Eventually you manage to force him away, but you can see that your blood is on his lips.
All right.
Kazador, the rest of the team, the guy that you're facing, oh god, he's in a blood frenzy. I don't know that he can actually retreat. I think he's just gonna, even though he's nearly dead, he's gonna double down on trying to kill Kazador and eat him. So you're injured, so he has blood frenzy against you. Spear attack first. No. 20 I think will hit.
Yep.
He looks torn between retreating and biting your face off, and then eventually settles for distracting you with a few and then reaches forward and also gets you by the neck with his jaws and starts sucking blood out of your jugular. And you're just like, oh shit! By the white gods of the dwarves! Runa, you are you injured?
No.
All right, then no blood frenzy against you yet. I don't think a 13 is going to hit with the spear.
No, my AC is 15.
15, then the bite will hit as well. This guy gets his mouth on your neck for 2 points of damage. He's licking his lips. Your precious orcish earth ganassi blood seems to excite him more than anybody else, and he barks out a laugh. Sit in, Tyrannos. And you can see that your incredibly dark blood on his lips just ooh, he's like super creepy and weird now, on top of trying to murder you.
Awesome.
It's your turn, Runa.
Yeah. So don't know what he said, but I'm gonna punch him in his face.
Do you speak Sahagin?
No.
I didn't think so.
Hmm.
It's not a story of the Jedi.
Actually,
told you.
where's the wheel on this ship?
The wheel is at the back.
The back. Okay.
Where
So
Rik-Jaxx
up one deck
was.
at the back. Yeah, that's where Rik-Jaxx was.
All right. I'm going to. Oh shit. There we go. I'm going to reposition here, and then
So how are you repositioning there? Because if you leave,
staying within 5 feet. I'm just gonna go around him.
so if you go around him, you lose contact with this guy, which means he gets a reaction with you.
Okay. Can I disengage from where I am but disengage towards the back?
Yes, but disengaging is an action.
Right, but I can use a key point to do it.
Only so. Oh, that's right. As a bonus action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So I'll do that and then try to get. As
Now
far
you can
back as I
freely
can.
move wherever you want. Yeah. All right. So you go running past. I
How
mean,
far can you disengage?
so disengage just means that when you move, you don't provoke any
stuck.
movement penalty for the rest
Got
of
it. I can do my full movement.
Yes.
So I'll go all the way back to the wheel.
Yep. So you scramble up the ladder. You get to the wheel, but that's it. You don't have time to like lay hands on the wheel. You don't have time to maneuver the
That's
ship.
fine.
You just get to it, and we'll see what's happening with the wheel in a moment because it's feeling a little free.
Goes
Mortrick.
around and around.
Speaking
And
of people
you're
that are,
wearing your chainmail, aren't you, Kaz?
he would
ruined-
like not to die this time.
Yeah. What is around us? Is anything metal around us besides his chainmail?
I mean, there's plenty of iron rings around the ship where the extra ropes run through. Lots of nails from all of the fitted.
All right. I'm just gonna shing out my sword again. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Kaz.
Just keep in mind, I got second wind.
What's that do? Oh, that's like a free hit dice.
I got a heal, so
Yeah. I don't think I can disengage then to get over to Rik-Jaxx. Okay, I'm gonna cast Healing Wounds on myself then. I'm gonna yell at Kaz, be like, "Don't let me die, you son of a bitch!"
I can only do so much.
You know how it is. You need the tank to taunt them off you.
And I'm just gonna yell as loud as I can, trying to wake up anyone below deck. Nah.
Interesting.
Borders! Borders! Borders!
Send how.
Rik-Jaxx.
All right, so I'm going to move over one, attack the guy in the middle below Kazador. And so first attack.
Yeah, you dash in there. He pushes the sword aside with his spear. He seems a little shocked that you'd come after him. And then he like spins his spear around, points it in your direction. You gonna do the offhand attack as well?
No, I'm going to do a disengage.
Okay, you disengage.
And so I'll go back to right there.
Okay, Kazador. You can hear someone below you. Now that Mortrick's called out, you know that Hal's about to pop out of the hold that you're standing next to.
Am I sitting on the hold?
You said before that you were standing near the hold.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, you could hold it closed by just standing on top of it.
No, I don't need to. I was just making sure that like I wasn't.
I'm just letting you know someone's about to pop out of it and be like, "Oh my God, borders!"
Okay. All right. Then I will be using. Yeah, I'm gonna attack the first guy in the bottom.
Okay.
So let's see how that goes.
mean the one that's in contact with Mortrick, like on the far left?
Sorry, the middle one.
Okay, middle one. Got it. You hit him and you crush him. You crush him good.
All right. And he's dead?
Oh, he's very dead. You hit him, you break his teeth in the process on your warhammer.
Sorry.
There's like a warhammer-shaped hole where his mouth should be, with lots of jagged, broken teeth, and he falls back on deck and begins flopping. The other two briefly look at him and lick their lips before turning back to you.
It's a sweet sound of battle. I'm gonna take a breath and draw again, and I'm gonna hit the guy in front of Mortrick.
Action surge.
Action surge.
Okay.
I'm gonna try
You
to
dig down deep. You give it all you got. Yeah, you give a lot. There's a lot where that came from.
It's a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm gonna take my bonus action and enter into Tunnel Fighter.
Okay, so you're holding your position, correct?
Well, what that means is that anyone that's within 5 feet, I assume that means people diagonally?
Yes.
Okay, anyone within 5 feet, if they move, I get to attack them.
Tunnel fighter.
I have the description in my character sheet. If you go under class, I put it right there.
Blah, 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 blah. As a bonus action, you enter defensive stance. Well, there. You can make opportunity attacks without using your reaction, and you can use your reaction to make a melee attack on the creature that moves more than 5 feet within your reach. Okay, so if these guys try moving away from you, you get free attacks.
Yeah,
and if they try moving around you, you can be like, haha, reaction attack, which normally you wouldn't be able to do.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll do that. I
Yeah,
guess.
so this is from the Unearthed Arcana Underdark, which is what you've taken as Tunnel Fighter.
That's right.
I feel like it should be on D&D Beyond. I don't know whether it was or not.
It probably is, but you might have to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I mean, I almost certainly have. I mean, I bought a whole crap ton of books now.
Oh, that's true.
Kazador.
You have it.
So you enter into your Tunnel Fighter stance, and the hold opens behind you, raising his dagger and holding out his book aloft. Hal goes, Sisno Terashna, and like holds the book up really dramatically, and there's this thing, you can't see it, but you feel the force go past you. Let's see how good this force is. It's not very good. The creature, sensing it coming, dodges out of the way, and then like it hits the sail and punches a hole through the sail. And Hal's like, oh shit.
Ow, language. Come on, man.
Be careful, Hal. You sure you're ready for this?
Runa, let's talk about the ship. Let's see how the ship's doing. The ship begins making a hard right turn. It's beginning to drift into the wall, and in the next few seconds, you're going to collide with... well, wall is a misnomer. You're going to collide with a bunch of pointy spirals. Probably it will definitely damage the ship permanently.
So
In a you're sinking kind of way.
So I definitely want to push it hard. It's going right, so push it hard.
Yes, it's going
left.
hard right. So you could you want to flip it the other direction then? We'll see if you can do that on your turn.
And see if I can spin it as fast as I can with a kick.
And
then try to grab it before it gets too far over.
All right, we'll see if you can do that on your turn, which will come after we return from our break. Who lives? Who dies? Will the ship collide? Will they be shipwrecked in the middle of the ocean,
Probably.
a week away from any land? We'll find out when we return in the second half. Stick around, but enjoy the break music and also the break art.